Five, four, three, two, one. Hello, beautiful people. I am Nikki, if this is your first time joining me. And today we will just be doing a random lackadaisy check-in, chit-chat type of live. If you have been on my channel for any, even a small amount of time, you know that I have been trying to figure out how to connect with you guys, the disconnect that seems like is there between the subs and myself. So I thought it would be a good idea to just start doing regular, just chit chat, check-in type of live streams, just not a topic type of live stream where I'm talking about a specific series, but just a little chit chat, check in with everyone. I do have a few just random topics that I thought I would just chit chat with you guys about today, but we are just going to just, make this a little regular thing. Now, I didn't say weekly because y'all know how I am about that, but just a regular check-in. Okay, like regular, not weekly. Okay. Let's see who we have here in the chat. If you are here watching, shout out to the 13 people watching. Drop down in the chat. Let me know that you are here. Tony T, thank you so much for being here. Critical Thinker, thank you so much. Sam, hey Sam. Ashley, be horrified. I don't think I've ever seen you comment. Hi, welcome to the channel. But I just thought it would be nice to just check in. If you guys like whatever you want to chat about, whatever question you want to ask, let me know in the chat. I do plan on kind of just discussing like a few things I saw this week. I will have videos up for them, but I just thought I'd just randomly just kind of talk about them. And actually, I used to be really big into reading, but I've slacked. So I also have like some book, like a little reading list that I want to get into and get back to reading. But our first topic is y'all. It's the subs. So we did a live. When I say we, I had Tyra from Struggle Reviews TV. She's always with me on my Saturday horror panel. And we went live to just try to figure out why my subs are just so silent, really never comment or really engage with me. And it was a great live. And I have noticed recently like new people commenting on the channel that I've never seen comment before, which is great. And I love to see it. And if you didn't know, behind the scenes, I can see how many times a person has commented on my channel. So I have a lot of people where it says it's like their first time commenting. So I love that. But I just wanted to check in, chit chat with you guys, because I feel like, like there aren't like a number of you that are consistently showing up, commenting, engaging, checking in. So I just wanted to see like what's the disconnect. Is it something on my end? Hey, Darfelina, thank you for being here. Happy Sunday, Books, Girls, and Purrs. Ronald, thank you for being here. I'd love to hear your reading list. Well, I am going to get into that. Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. Thank you for being here. So, and my mother always tells me you're not supposed to compare. She always says, don't compare your channel to other people's channels, which is good advice. But I just feel like in this space, it's really hard not to compare your channel to other people's channel. And I just noticed that even a small channel, 500 subscribers, 20,000 subscribers, I just noticed that typically they have at least a handful of ride or die supporters, no matter what they're talking about, no matter what they're going live to cover. They have that group that they know always are going to show up, support, engage with them. And I'm just I don't have that. I don't really see that. I don't know. I just don't feel like I get very supported from my group of subs. And I did post on my community tab. I do not really clock my sub count. I can't, for my sanity, I cannot. When I first started YouTube, I was obsessed with clocking my sub count. So about 2 years ago, I got more concerned with just connecting with the people that are here instead of being worried about growing my sub count and being obsessed with having a certain amount of subs. And I feel like in that 2 years, it just seems like I'm just not even really connecting with the people that are here, or maybe I won't say not connecting, but not connecting in the way that I would like, or that I feel, because I guess to me, connecting would be, like I said, at least a handful, at least a handful. I'm not even asking for 100 people, at least 5 people that I know are going to be solid supporters, showing up, commenting, engaging. Yes, I feel like in general in life, I literally never compare myself or what I'm doing to other people. But for some reason, when it comes to YouTube, it is so hard not to compare. We just did a live because Kay Slice of Horror hit 1,000 subs. And we were just chit-chatting, and Tyra was like, yeah, I hit 1,000 subs after 3 months. It took me a year and a half to hit 1,000 subs. So it's stuff like that is really hard not to compare, because it's well, what did I do wrong? Why did it take me a year and a half to reach 1,000 subs when it only takes some people 2 months, 3 months? And, you can't really do that. But hey, Amy, thank you for being here. I'm a recent subscriber ever since you were on a panel with the ladies, Slice of Horror, My Sweet Perspective, Struggle Reviews. Well, thank you for being here. I'm very glad you're here. Yeah, that, and that comparison thing, chat, it's the devil. It's the devil. But I do have a poll up in the chat if you would like to participate. I would like to get a gauge of what made you actually want to subscribe and be on my channel. And speaking of what I feel is a lack of engagement, so I recently started reviewing from season 3. I reviewed the first 2 seasons on my channel, and now I am back with season 3. And I did have somebody ask me if I was going to go live to talk about From, and I was like, yeah, no, that wasn't really on my plan. That wasn't really part of the schedule. But I thought it would be a good idea, because y'all know I'm not going to show up at the same time every week. But I thought it would be a good idea just to do I don't know, some type of live talking about From and different theories and stuff like that. Of course, we know the ladies have their, if you're familiar with them, have their live for From. But obviously, I'm still on the clock working when they go live. But I just thought it would be fun to just do something with From, because I think that video is at 300 views right now, which y'all know my videos don't get viewed like that. So I was like, okay, well, a lot of people seem, to be engaged and really liking this show. So I was like, okay, send me your From theories. I can include it in the live. Baby, I got one participant out of 1,400 people on the channel. One person participated. And I feel like that's just the way it tends to go on my channel. Like, I don't really, you guys don't really participate. And I don't know why. Ronald had to watch From on recap from YouTube because I don't have Amazon Prime. Well, From isn't a Prime series. What is From? From is, I literally pay for so many subscriptions. It's fucking insane to do content for this channel. What is From? From isn't Prime though. From is MGM. I was about to say AMC. From is MGM. Wish I could stay for this conversation, but I have move at 6:30. You're doing great, Nikki. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for stopping in. Let me see. Yeah, it's MGM. I couldn't think. I was about to say AMC, but I'm like, wait, no, it's not where The Walking Dead is. Yeah. But I just feel like that tends to happen a lot. Like, anytime I'm like, let's get some crowd participation, we don't participate. And I don't know why. And then, like, certain things, like, okay, so for example, my From video got like 300 views. And I recently did this Netflix documentary, got like 800 or 900 views. Like, it'd be like 0 comments. And I'm like, why are they not commenting? Like, I'm like, I rack my brain because obviously when it comes to like my content, I'm in a space where I'm very happy with the content I'm doing. I'm very proud of the content I'm doing. And I'm not good at doing content on stuff that I don't really care about. Like, I can't follow a show that my plan was to follow Grotesserie. I was bored to tears. I said, oh, nope, I'm not going to talk about that. So I like talking about things that I like feel fired up to talk about. But of course, this is the type of space where I can't just be on here by myself. Like, your success of your channel depends on the viewer and the audience. So I would like, to hear like what the people think that are watching, like some type of feedback. But I'm like, they literally never comment, like ever. Like, if you go down my channel at my videos, it'll say 2 comments on one video, 6 comments on another, 0 comments, and another one will be like 3 comments. And I'm just like, and then, like I said, you're not supposed to compare. But when I look at other people's channel, they'll have like 100 views and like 30 comments. And I'm just like, well, what am I doing wrong? Why are the folks not commenting? I don't get it. YouTube notifications are not consistent. Yes, I know you guys always say that. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I can't control YouTube. I don't know what the hell to do about YouTube. Like that, I mean, that don't have nothing to do with me. Like, I really don't know what to do about that. Like, I don't know how to respond to that. What was the Netflix documentary you reviewed? The Netflix documentary that I reviewed was called, let me look it up because I can't remember. What was Worst Ex Ever, which is the dumbest title ever. That title sounds like a Taylor Swift song, but it was a very dark, disturbing documentary about like DV and all kind of stuff like that with people that are in a relationship and they try to get out of the relationship, but their ex is a literal psychopath. That was the documentary. D Movie Man, if you guys are not familiar, go check him out. I definitely subscribe because the entertainment value of you and Tyrone whacking each other was extremely intriguing. Dane C, excuse me, babe, I'm not cursing anyone out. I don't think I said a curse word this whole episode. Dang, you like to troll. Oh, but I did forget to say, because I guess there are a lot of new people. I have no idea because, y'all don't ever really comment. I have no idea, like, if I have people on my channel that have been here, like, since the beginning for a few years, or if everyone is, like, new. I don't have a clue. But if you were here at, like, the first year I was on YouTube, I used to do a live series called Go Off with Nickey, because the feedback that I used to always hear at that time was that anytime I reviewed something and went on a rant because I didn't really like it, that's the content that the people at the time that were watching me really liked. So I started this Go Off with Nickey live series, and I cannot remember why I stopped, but y'all know how I do. I be all over the place. I get an idea and I'm focused, but then I move on. Like, I always just move all over the place. I was like, let me bring that back, try to get some kind of way for the audience to engage. And I went to go back to that playlist. I got 2 videos, and I'm like, I only did 2 episodes of Go Off with Nickey, and they did pretty well. Like, y'all, well, I guess I won't say y'all, because again, I don't know who's here that was here and stuff like that. But the subs were really engaging when I did my Go Off with Nickey series. And I'm like, why the hell? I would have to go back to my videos around that time to see what drew my attention away from Go Off with Nickey. But I just wanted to start doing just a regular, like, check-in, chit-chat. And I was trying to think of like something to title it, but my brain hurts. I have so much stuff that I'm doing. I'm working on I'm literally always working on KillerCon because the second one ends. I gotta be getting ready for another one. But I got my solo substance review coming. I got so much stuff coming. I was like, I cannot use my small brain to be trying to think of like a little snazzy name. Because when it comes to YouTube, you try to think of a title for a video, you try to come up with a thumbnail for a video that will get people to click on the video. And I was trying to think of something snazzy to go with like Sunday, because Sunday is like the best day that I would do this. I was like, y'all ain't got time for this. So I was like, you know what? I'm finna take the title that I already like created and just haven't done anything with, to Go Off with Nickey. And I'll just use that. So that's what the title comes from. You just reminded me that I should probably explain that. KillerCon is a success, isn't it? I think success, that term is relative. I had certain goals. If anybody was here for that live, I said that this is my third year on YouTube, and I had 3 goals that if I didn't hit by December, I was pretty much going to be done with YouTube. But one goal was KillerCon. If you are here, I got I'm in a much, much, much better place when it comes to my channel and my content. My only little hiccup is the fact that I can't get the subs to engage. That's my only little hiccup, but I'm in a much better place when it comes to my content. I stopped and took a break. I want to say I didn't make content. I want to say maybe 6 weeks. And I was literally so close to just deleting my channel, being done. Because YouTube can get frustrating, especially because this is a space that's very much about the numbers. Like when it comes to KillerCon and I'm trying to collab with people, YouTubers only care about how big is your channel, how many views do you get, how many subs do you have, and if it's not a number that is going to impress them, you're pretty much irrelevant. So that's pretty much the attitude of this space. It's kind of like, how you hear actors talk about their whole profession is about being constantly rejected and you have to just live with that. That kind of reminds me of YouTube. Like, you're not being rejected, so to speak, but it's like you work super hard on the video. You think it's great. You're like, okay, this is the one. And then the video flops. Like, that's kind of like to have to constantly go through that. And I mean, it's just the name of the game. But you get into like moods when it comes to that, especially when you feel like you've worked really hard on something. And I was just in a space where I was like, I'm done with YouTube. And Tyrone was actually really encouraging. And around that time, I came up with the idea for KillerCon, and it was like just a little idea. And then I came back to doing content. I was motivated, and then I did a live, and we were talking about something with Black people in horror or the horror space. And that's when the idea for KillerCon kept just growing. And in my humble, view of how I view KillerCon and success with it, I personally consider KillerCon to be my baby. I consider it growing, and I consider it a success in my eyes on my small scale of like my goals, because like I do a video, it might get 40 views, it might get 60 views, it might get 1,000 views. It's never like consistent. My goal anytime I post a video is 100 views. That's literally my only, I'm just like, let me just get 100 views and a few new subscribers. Because of course you want to grow your audience. And even though I don't clock my sub count, I do look at, for example, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue the Penguin series because I didn't get any new subscribers from that. And I think I barely got 50 views. So something like I actually got like a good amount of new subscribers from. The video got 300 views. So I consider that worth my energy and my time. Like, okay, people are engaging with this. So when it comes to like putting your energy and effort into something, you have to kind of gauge, so KillerCon never gets less than 100 views. KillerCon, as far as that goes, and having people in my live. I could do a live, might be 6 people there. Shout out to the 17 people in this live. KillerCon, consistently, I'll have 12 to 22 people in there on my end. So in terms of those little things that I look for, I would say yes, KillerCon is a success. But like I'm trying to think of how to say it because it's small. It's super fucking small. Oh, I'm not supposed to be cursing. It's super freaking small. Like, if you ask another YouTuber with like 50,000 subs, is KillerCon successful? They're gonna be like, no, the hell it isn't. But to me, and like what I look for, I would say it's successful in a small scale, but I'm actually really dissatisfied with KillerCon. I feel like it's not growing like I would like for it to. I feel like I'm not getting the engagement and participation from the subscribers that I would like. Because one thing with KillerCon is I'm literally putting on, if you've ever seen KillerCon, a whole like panel. I got slides. I'm doing questions. I'm trying to host and I'm a part of the panel. It's a lot to juggle. It takes a lot of energy for me to put KillerCon together. I would constantly. Now, see, y'all don't ever engage unless y'all got something negative to complain to me about. When I started KillerCon, I would constantly get messages. You don't read our comments. Why are you not reading the comments in KillerCon? It's not deliberate. Like, I'm literally so busy with juggling KillerCon. I can't not clock the chat. And also, when I first started KillerCon, I had like 100 people on the panel. I think it was like 5, 6 people. The episode was like, what was it, 3-4 hours long. People were not happy with me because they were like, girl, we got kids. We got stuff to do. We cannot be on your damn panel like for this long. I just did a live with Sister Girl on Film where we were talking about notorious Black movie villains, right? I thought we did not have enough villains. Y'all know, if you've been here, anytime I do a tier list, I have 100 freaking things that we are about to rank. I think the number she had, I was just like, this isn't going to really be a full, we might be here for an hour. Baby, we was there for about over 3 hours because Sister Girl on Film will literally read every single solitary comment. And I don't think the audience realizes first how much time that adds to the live. And not just the time, because I don't have a problem, most of my lives be long as hell. I don't have a problem like reading the comments and then adding to the time of the live, but KillerCon is the exception because it's not just me. I have other people on the panel that I have to worry about what they have going on, their commitments, what they need to do. And typically when I ask people to be on KillerCon, they will tell me their time. I was trying to get somebody for KillerCon for next Saturday, and she was like, yeah, I can't do more than 2 hours. And I just was like, okay, well, thank you anyway, because I cannot guarantee you that the episode will not go over 2 hours. Is it my goal to keep it under? Yes. But if somebody has a time constraint, I'm not even going to say, okay, come on, because I cannot guarantee it's going to only be 2 hours. So since I kept getting you're ignoring us and we know you, we ain't reading the chat, I said, okay, I'm going to do a viewer's choice segment so that I will do a literal whole segment of the show where y'all can say whatever you want to say, ask whatever question. Child, y'all don't participate. Y'all participate. Y'all just wanted to complain to me, but y'all don't participate. Child, y'all don't participate. D, thank you so much. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. You might be the ultimate. Why I always gotta catch strays. You might be the ultimate ops, Tyra's words in these YouTube streets, but you definitely stay working. I appreciate what you bring. Thank you so much, D. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I don't know if it's the Libra in me, but see, that's what I be talking about. Like, it's like when I have been putting out so much content and I really don't get any comments. Like, it's really nice to just be like, hey, yeah, I like what you're doing here. Like, I will never forget that live I did with Tyra. And I was like, yeah, KillerCon might go away. Baby, people came out the woodworks. Oh, I love KillerCon. Where the hell you be at then? Because I have never seen you comment about. And I remember when I first started KillerCon and I had a certain intro, I ended up getting flagged for copyright with the music. I'd be so annoyed with having to try to get music for a damn intro. Like, I'm not a musician. Where the hell am I supposed to get music from? But I got hit with copyright, so I had to change the song. I was so annoyed. I hated what I had to change it to. Nothing was working. I felt like the original song I had, I was just obsessed. I was in love. I thought it fit. So I was like, yo, audience, people watching, subs, tell me your opinion. Do you like the intro? Child, y'all ain't say nothing. Y'all ain't say nothing. I think yesterday's KillerCon, I was like, the underrated section is my favorite. I love when we talk about underrated movies because Tyra gonna say some good stuff that I can go check out. Kay gonna have something good to say. So I'm like, hey, y'all, put in the chat. Tell me your favorite segment of KillerCon. Like yesterday's KillerCon, I did not do like the bad review. I haven't done the bad reviews segment in a few episodes because y'all don't ever comment and say like which sections and segments y'all like. But hey, Equalizer, thank you for being here. Would you be happy with panelists popping in for hell no? Hell no. I don't like that. I don't like that. That feels sloppy. That feels to me. I don't know what nobody else does with their panel. That feels sloppy. I have certain segments, certain questions, and there's usually like a theme to the episode. I want to get your thoughts for everything that I have lined up for the episode. Like I said, I put a lot of, and I feel like, I don't be wanting to come off a certain way, but I'm just me. I can't be nobody else. I know I say this live, but I put a lot of fucking effort into KillerCon. Like having to rack my brain, try to come up with good questions, good topics, good verses, stuff that's going to keep the audience engaged, entertained. No, baby, you need to be here for the whole time. You need to answer every question that I done spent my time racking my brain, squeezing out, trying to think of. Nope, you need to be here from beginning to motherfucking end. You're not popping in for one little part and popping out. I don't like that for a lot of reasons. No, not at all. No, I don't like that. And I do have a few people that be like, well, I could give you an hour. Or like I said, the person I contacted for KillerCon next Saturday, I could give you 2 hours. No. Like, obviously, I know when people are annoyed with me because KillerCon ran 3 hours and all that stuff. I get it. That's long. I'm the single one. I don't have no kids, but I do have my own little responsibilities. But I don't really have time issues. But I completely understand. People don't got time to be on live, to be on KillerCon, to be on my ish for that long. I try to factor in other people's lifestyles and things that they have going on. Tyra and Kay show up for me every single Saturday as my regular panelists because, it's hard to try to find new content creators every single solitary week. So I'm very grateful that I have Kay and Tyra showing up, but I have to be respectful of their time as well. But I don't like the pop in, pop out. No, you need to be here from top to bottom. Blueberry ricotta cheese pancakes. Thank you for being here in the live, and shout out to the 21 people that's here with me. I just finished KillerCon and left a comment. Excellent work again. I usually can't watch lives, but I'm here today and wanted to show some love. Keep up the good work. We see you. Thank you, Blueberry. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I get, people being in different time zones, they can't always be there for a live. Interviews may be a way to grow with exposure to other audiences. No, babe. No. I'm not saying that's not a good idea, but no, that idea does not work for me. I don't want people to pop. And I feel like that would mess up the flow because, okay, you're here for a certain amount of time, then you got to pop out. That's going to feel very awkward for me to stop the flow of what we're doing, to say, okay, we got to say bye to this person. And anytime I have somebody on, I like to give them a moment to talk to the audience on their own, tell them where they can find. So I got to stop everything to give you that moment, or either not give you that moment. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Amy, I was so sad to miss yesterday's KillerCon. I love Blade. I'll be watching a replay today. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward for your remake Terminator video. October. Oh, I'm so excited for that video. So if you were on my channel like last year or the year before, I used to do like these discussion lives because I read like certain entertainment articles and I want to talk about it. I was reading an article about James Cameron and like a Terminator, like not the sequels, not all those stuff we get, but like a Terminator original 1984 remake. And I'm like, I want to bring that back. Let's see if the people will engage with that, because I'm always reading like an interesting article that has something to do with like movies and stuff like that. So yes, that is scheduled, and I'm very excited that you are excited, Ronald, because I'm motherfucking excited. I cannot wait to talk about that. And speaking of, I also want to get, now I do have a video coming up on this, but Lord Jesus, I need y'all to watch this damn Netflix documentaries don't miss. Like very rarely they do not miss. So I need y'all to watch Netflix documentary On the Run. Okay. When I tell you this was the craziest documentary, On the Love on the Run basically gives, do you believe in love? Do you want to die? Boy, have we got a story for you. Like, it is so insane. It's a story about this couple, Vicky and Casey. Casey is an inmate in prison. Vicky runs the damn prison. They fall in love. Oh my God. It is literally the most insane thing I have ever heard in my life. And then what's more insane is the people, you know, they get people from their lives to like talk in the doc. Baby, one of Vicky break this man out of jail. They end up on a run. Like, lady, you run the jail. How are you now engaging in criminal behavior? Baby, one of her friends say, I'm proud of Vicky. Vicky wanted to do this. She wanted this man. She said she would go out with the bang, and she did just that. And I'm just sitting here like, you what, lady? You what? Y'all, it is so freaking insane. I remember all that from the news. I want to see that. The documentary, I have never heard of this in my life. I have literally never heard of this, but I just thought it was the most insane thing I have ever heard of in my life. But as I'm going through the documentary, and I feel like this lady is crazy, and this guy is just like manipulating her and using her, it kind of touched my heartstrings. Because one of the inmates that was there, because all the people that worked at the jail had a lot of respect for Vicky, and the inmates even had respect for Vicky. They were saying how like she was the only person that like, I think she ran that prison for like 20 years. Like they was doing all kind of stuff to the inmates, but Vicky came in, she treated them like human beings. Like everybody liked her from the inmates. Like the inmates liked her. They were saying how she was like the mother they never had. You would hear her laugh down the hall and it would like brighten everything. So this one inmate is like, don't paint, when y'all do this documentary, don't paint her as a fool and don't paint him as a monster. They were just two people from different walks of life that fell in love. And I'm like, okay, the whole documentary, I am looking at them like she a fool and he using her. I won't say monster. But for some reason, when he's talking about like the way they were in love when they were in the prison and would be trying to hide it, but apparently the inmates knew they had something going on, but the guards and stuff didn't. And I'm just like, why are the inmates more perceptive than the damn guards working there? But whatever the hell, child. But that part kind of touched my heartstrings because I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, you know, they say you can't control who you love. I guess. But yeah, catch up on that documentary before my video comes out so you can watch the video. It is literally just the most insane story. But I will say one thing with Vicky that they would constantly say, and they had like recordings of Vicky phone calls with the guy in prison. And she would say it herself. Like Vicky was one of those people that spent her life doing for other people, catering to other people, never living for herself. And I always say I cannot stand having people pleasing folks around me. Like it is literally because this is a prime example of why I say that. Like they're constantly worried about people pleasing and doing stuff for other people that I feel like don't do nothing for me. That's inauthentic. Like don't come over here because you're just trying to people please me. Those type of people for me have a tendency to eventually go off the deep end. Not this dramatically, but like eventually you're going to break. Like I very much always say I'm going to always be selfish. I was born selfish. I believe in being selfish. Like you only have one life. You get like do everything for you. Like whatever you want to do, don't waste your little life, child. But that was her whole existence. She was in one of the phone calls with Casey about how she never had like a man. Oh wait, she She had one man she was in love with. He died. And ever since then, she never had a guy. She never did anything for herself. Her whole life and world was working at the prison, doing for everybody else. She would just come home and drink every single day. She would come home and drink. And so she finally had this little light in her life. Child, she went buck wild. She just ran off the deep end. She broke this man out of prison because everything in her life was never doing anything for her or that she wanted to do. It kind of reminds me of certain teenagers I grew up with. Like, I was the type of kid, my mother gave me a lot of freedom. Child, I really wasn't doing that with my freedom, but I had the freedom. But other friends who parents tried to keep them on lockdown, baby, they turned 18, got out the house and went buck wild because they never had a chance to experience, do things. Like, they were always under their parents' thumb. And I really equate that to the psychology of how people-pleasing people tend to go. Like, you spent your whole life never like really being honest, never saying what you want to say, going along to get along, and eventually you're gonna go buck wild. Can't control. Look, that's what they say. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, D. If that means being down bad enough to catch an entire case, it's a no for me, dog. I'm not made for the clank. I'm talking about D. This lady went from upstanding citizen, running the jail, running the prison, to being in a shootout with the cops and on a high-speed chase. I'm sitting here like, but I'm telling you, when folks be like people pleasing, and I feel like being selfish gets a bad rep. You have to be selfish, because for me, not being selfish only breeds resentment. Like, if you're always putting your partner first, your friends first, your kids first, never you're going to end up resentful. Like, you just are. Like, there's no way around it. But y'all, I'm telling you. Well, baby, if that's real love, you can count me out. Because literally one of my biggest fears, and it might be because I watch a lot of like true crime stuff, and I watch a lot of stuff where people go to jail for like 30 years for stuff they didn't do, and like DNA exonerates them. I'm so scared of going to prison. I'm not playing no games with you. Like, no, don't tell me nothing. No, I'm snitching. Period. Get me out of here. I want to be involved. But it's like one of those things. Now, I will say one of her like cop buddies was talking about how, you know, the Casey guy used her and she was manipulated. Do I think this man, I can't gauge how nobody feels. So I can't say he never loved her. But obviously, to me, if I love somebody, I wouldn't put you in a position to literally derail and destroy your life. But would I say she was like an innocent victim that was manipulated? No. And that's not to say he didn't have an angle or have an agenda or any of that stuff, but to try to paint it like she was like this was a grown woman, frontal lobe fully developed. She knew what she was doing. And one thing, the cop was all blaming the inmate, but one of the inmates was saying how she, of all people, she knew the risk and she didn't care. I completely agree with that. Like, she wasn't manipulated. She knew the risk. She didn't care. Look, I'm scared of jail. I don't want to get strip searched. I don't want no flashlight up my rectum. I'm not playing with jail. Like, period. And when I be watching Love After Lockup, it don't seem like the female prison that bad. They be in there painting nails and having fun from what it seemed like on Love After Lockup. But I don't want to be in there. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. But it's just so crazy to me how her friends are literally like, I'm proud of her. She, like, I'm all for going after the man you want, but baby, for my friend to end up like in a high-speed chase and breaking niggas out of prison, and I say I'm proud, I don't know. But, you know, like I said, they say you can't control who you love. So, you know, I did have somebody say to me one time that you can control who you love, and that love isn't like catching a cold or something like that. Like, you make the conscious decision. And I'm just like, but, you know, people say you can't. It just happened. So this lady, you know, but what's so funny is the way they connected. You would think he like sweet talked her, really used some smooth ass stuff to get with this guard. They got video of the first time they ever interacted. It was a lot of video. We had video of the high speed chase. We had all they recorded phone calls. Baby, she walking down the halls of the prison, and old boy is in his cell, and he yells out, "Nice ass." And that literally is how they, lady. Like all it took was Al Pacino yelling, "She's got a great ass," and you derail your life. Now that part took me out because you couldn't tell me that it wasn't like some Romeo, like real suave type moves this man had. No. All he had to say was, "You got a great ass." Like all he had to do was channel Al Pacino, and that's just like, lady. But you know, literally, it was so insane. But I also feel like it's kind of embarrassing because they got all the phone calls that she had between him, and they literally would be having phone sex. And I'm like, this, like, y'all tarnishing this lady, like. And then the thing that took me out, you run the prison. You know these calls are not secret. Now, she was calling from a burner cell, but literally before the call starts, it says, "This call is not private. It's being recorded." And as the person who run the prison, after you hear that message, you proceed to have phone sex with the inmate. Lady, please. Lady, please, lady. But yeah, that video will be coming soon because it's like a whole, trust me, it's a whole thing. It's a whole damn, I can't. Your recaps make me feel like I was there, so skipping watching and waiting for your recap instead. Okay. I've been telling everybody about worst ex ever off the strength of your recap alone. Worst ex ever was diabolical. I think that might be the longest video I've done in a while outside of my lives. Worst ex ever, what is that video? A 2-hour video? Like that video long as hell. And what's funny about that though? And this is why you can't really clock certain things of like, oh, let me do this for a successful channel. There is no formula. You got to just do. Because when I first started YouTube, I always made long videos. I personally am not a fan of like short content. Any YouTube videos I watch, baby, they be 2-3 out. Like they be long. I like long videos. And when I first started YouTube, because I can just run my mouth and talk a lot, I used to do long videos, 45 minutes, hour and a half, 2 hours. But I would always see stuff like, oh, the audience doesn't like long videos. If you want to be successful, make shorter videos. So recently I started doing shorter videos. Like my reviews might be 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But I tried my best to edit down worst ex ever. But it was so much stuff that I was like, no, I got to keep that. No, I can't cut that. So it ended up being an hour and a half. That's like my most successful recent video. Like that video is at almost 1,000 views and it's long as hell. And I'm sitting here like, but y'all said the long form videos don't do. See, this why you gotta just do what you want to do. This why you gotta just do what you want to do. Worst ex ever is so heavy, very. I still have more episodes to watch. Yeah, and I have to be careful because when I was doing worst ex ever, I had to edit some stuff out because I did that document. Now, worst ex ever, I might say is the second. Oh no, dang, it's a lot insane. I was gonna say the second most insane. The documentary where them folks was having sex with the neighbor and the neighbor was having like sex with their daughter. That is a crazy documentary. The documentary where they had this religious group. I did a video on it. What was it called? It was like this religious group living out on the prairie, and this old, decrepit man was having sex with everybody. That was crazy. Then it was the documentary where the fertility doctor was fathering like 1,000 kids. That was crazy. And then we get worst ex ever. It's like the second you think that it can't get any crazier or any more insane, Netflix pulls another trick out the hat. Like it. It's insane. Oh, and that other documentary I did on my channel where the person was calling the fast food restaurant and getting them to like essay women in the restaurant. That was crazy. Like every time you think it won't get any crazier, they pull another true story out and make a documentary. And every time you think it cannot get any crazier, humans get crazier. Like it is literally so insane. Yeah, that documentary blew me away. Yeah, that video will be up soon because it would but I will say in the comparison of the documentaries that I just referenced, Love on the Run ain't got nothing on that stuff. Like these were two consenting adults. Like they didn't so compared to those documentaries, this is light work, but it's just crazy to me, the story of this lady's life of going from not even just going from being a regular old citizen to being on the run, going from running. Like this lady didn't just work, she ran that prison like for 20 years. And then you end up on the run, you got a gun, like you about to shoot out with the cops you been working with. Like that's what makes this documentary crazy. But compared to the shenanigans and how dark some of the other documentaries get, this one ain't got nothing on that. But it's still insane. It's insane. But yeah, I don't want no love like that. I don't want no love like that. I'm scared of going to prison. Also, men's prison. See, that's how I feel. Like I know I ain't never been in the prison, but from how they portray it, I feel like the men's prison, baby, just throw me off the bridge. Like send me home to the Lord, because no. But for some reason, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I feel like the women prison seem kind of like you just like I said, when I watch Love After Lockup, them women, they be chilling, they be painting, they be taking Kool-Aid and making makeup and just like having fun. Got their little girlfriend in prison. That like I ain't saying it's a vacation, but it definitely like a male prison to me sounds like a nightmare. Like it sounds like hell. Like it sounds like I would never be able to sleep. Like no. But the women prison, seem like they be chilling, maxing and relaxing. I don't know. That's how it seems. Especially when I watch like different stuff. It just seems like the women being there just, they just be chilling. Like, okay, I'm gonna do my time, get out, but ain't nothing real traumatic gonna happen while I'm on the inside. But the men prison seems like traumatic stuff happens in there. But I saw some other, what else did I watch this week? Oh Lord, y'all, I saw a romance movie, which is not my ministry. I can literally count on my hands how many romance movies I've seen in my entire life. But every once in a while, there is a movie that everybody is like kind of talking about. There's hype around. And that's why I saw 50 Shades of Grey, child, because everybody was like the big craze. So anytime there's like a big craze, it makes me want to watch something. I heard about this movie, It Ends With Us, that was apparently based on a book. And the people that were fans of the book was like trashing the movie, upset about the movie. But then other people was upset about the movie. And the only thing I knew was It Ends With Us is like a romantic comedy about a woman in an abusive relationship. And I was like, what the hell? Like, wait, what? Like, how can you, what? Like, that just sounded insane. And it's a whole like bunch of mess around it. So I said, you know what? Let me watch this movie. So it's not what I thought. It's not I wouldn't consider it a romantic comedy about a woman in an abusive relationship. That isn't the right way to like sum it up. But I will have a full video coming up on this as well. But it's pretty much, and I'm not going to give any spoilers in case anybody cared to, see it. I don't know why you would care to see it. But, look, I saw that people really like this movie. So I don't want to trash it. People really like this movie. But it's basically a movie about, we go through two different kind of time periods. We have Blake Lively. She plays the lead. And as a teenager, there's this homeless kid who mom dates abusive men. So he runs away from home. She feeds him. She lets him come to her house so he can shower and all that stuff. They fall in love. Her father is abusive. Time passes. After high school, they lose touch. And she ends up meeting this neurosurgeon who the movie just makes sure you know he's the finest thing walking. And the director of the movie plays this part. And when I tell you, this felt like such vanity. Like, he really wanted you to know, I'm the fine one, not the actor playing the character from high school. I'm the fine one. I'm the catch. And the way, oh God. Now, I will say, I'm not the audience for this, but did I think it was like the most awful movie? No, I honestly didn't. It got a lot of issues. And it got a lot of the issues that why I mean, romance just, I don't know. Y'all know I want to see death and killing. So romance just ain't really up my alley. But I also don't like how contrived and unrealistic romance love story movies feel. And I also hate so bad, like, the messaging. I hate the whole men should be freaking stalkers because it's romantic. Like, no, because in the movie, it does like a lot of romance movies tend to do. This neurosurgeon meets Blake Lively, wants to ask her out and date. She keeps turning him down. He pops up at her store. He keeps like being pushy. And I'm like, that's not romantic. Like, if I say, no, I don't want to date you, leave me alone, that does not mean try harder. It means, no, I don't want to date you, leave me alone. I hate that messaging so bad. And in the movie, they talk about he's supposed to be charming. And I'm like, what the hell was charming about nothing was charming. Like, he was a psycho from the beginning. Like, I just hate that whole, oh, man, you should be persistent. And if she says no, just keep trying. No, mean no. It was just so ridiculous. But something else that annoyed me with the movie, which might be nitpicky, all the character names sound like fake names. Like, they sound like fake alias names. Like, the lead character name is like Lily Blooms Blossom or Lily Blossom Blooms. It's like the dumbest name, which the movie acknowledges that her name is ridiculous. But why did we name the characters that? And then the what was the neurosurgeon guy name? Because everybody's name, literally, if a guy told me this was his name, I would think he lying. Like, everyone's names sound like fake names. Then she's best friends with her abusive. He starts off as her abusive boyfriend. Then she marries him, and his sister is like her best friend. The sister does not feel like a real person. Rao Kincaid is his name. And the whole movie that was Rao Kincaid, like, that sounds so fake. That does not sound. That does not sound like. Hello? I'm on live. Okay. That was my mama. I have a thing with my phone. Like, if someone calls me at a time that's unusual, I have to answer. Like, if someone calls me super late at night and I'm like, this person, something must be wrong, or super early in the morning, or somebody keeps calling me, I get such anxiety. I have to answer it because I just feel like it's an emergency. Why is this person not? So I had to answer that because I'm like, okay, what's going on? That's my mama. No. But no, she just called for some BS. But Dane. Why are you always trolling? Oh God, I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was talking about, but it is with us. Video will be up. It may be a rent. It will be a rent. But I'm like, people really like this movie, so I don't want to disparage it, but it's going to be a rent because that movie has no right to exist. Thank you, Danielle. Like that name. I wish the hell I would meet a guy and be like, what's your name? Rao Kincaid. Nigga, if you don't get out my face with that fake ass alias, like, are you married? Like that irked me so bad. But the writing is so elementary that I'm not surprised that they came up with these dumb fake names. I know you said once your mom is into horror, I think it would be cute to do a vid together. Well, actually, anyone that's here who watches my KillerCon horror panel, I recently started the Killer After Party. Sister Girl on Film was my first guest, and I thought that, look, KillerCon ended, and I was like, why the hell did I come up with this after party idea? I'm tired. I want to do this ish. But it actually turned out really great. I'm so proud of that Killer After Party that I did with Sister Girl on Film. I objectively, I don't know, in my opinion, I think it's a great video. But the Killer After Party ain't finna be every single month week with KillerCon. No, ma'am. No. The Killer After Party will be once monthly. I'm here to bring the races together. Where the nachos every week? Paulie, I tried to reach out to you to be on KillerCon and you paid me dust. How the races gonna come together when you ignore me? But the Killer After Party will be once monthly. And actually, if y'all haven't been here to hear the announcement, I'm doing a special Halloween KillerCon. We are going to all dress up as some type of horror character and we are going to film a skit in costume. Well, my mother was super excited when I told her about that idea. She is going to dress up and film a skit, and she is going to do the Killer After Party with me for the Halloween special KillerCon. Now, y'all always be saying YouTube don't alert y'all, so let me tell you the date so you know what to look out for. Halloween is the 31st. But, you know, people have Halloween plans. So we will not have a KillerCon on Saturday the 26th. Instead, we will have KillerCon on Monday, October 28th. That will be the special Halloween edition KillerCon. And then we will do the Killer After Party. Okay? Now, I don't know how this gonna work because my mama is 60 and she go to bed about 8 o'clock. And the Killer After Party is live. But she said she would do it. But, you know, we will see. That's why I haven't announced it. Because my mama is like me. Y'all know if I don't feel like doing nothing, I ain't gonna do it. Like, everything depends on, like, how I feel and my mood. And my mother is the same way. Everything depends on her mood. And I know that lady be in bed. She will not be up late. But, you know, she says she gonna do it. She says she gonna do it. So yes, I will be doing that. But I have been trying to like think of something to like do with my mom on the channel pretty much since I started the channel because that has been my lifelong movie buddy. She was the horror girly first, the movie buff, and got me into it. But I think this will be fun. But you know, me and my mother are vastly different people. Like I'm very like I don't care. My mother isn't really a be on camera, talk in front of a bunch of people kind of person, but she say she gonna do the Killer After Party with me. But I'm so hyped for y'all to see her skit. Like I cannot even believe she is going so far. Do y'all know this woman texts me talking about I'm scouting locations today? You are not Tarantino. This is just a little skit. Like, Ma, this need to be 60 seconds. Ma, what are you doing? I'm scouting locations. I'm doing a dress rehearsal. She got a cameraman and she got somebody that's gonna dress up as the villain. Like, she got a whole crew she done put together for this skit. Like, I'm just like, Lord, she's so excited to do this. But I'm so hyped. Like, I can't wait, because she orchestrated. I was just gonna set up my camera and film me a little skit. No, she's scouting locations. She done hired people. She done enlisted folks to be a part of this. So I freaking can't wait. I'm trying. Should I tell? No, I was gonna say, should I tell y'all what her skit is? But I'm not gonna say. You gotta just show up for KillerCon. But all I can say is, I'm excited. I'm excited. My mother loves horror. Like, she is. I did not even, like, I literally didn't say, hey, Ma, you want to come do? I just was, like I always do, just telling her what I'm doing on the channel, and hey, I'm finna do this. Because I'm not a dress up cosplay kind of person. That's not my ministry. But I was like, you know what? It's Halloween. I like when Tyra had her birthday live and they did their little skits. I was dying laughing. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe this will be like a fun thing to do for Halloween. Next thing I know, my mama is like, yeah, so I'm about to go buy this wig to do my skit. What? Ma'am. Just pretty much just jumped herself in there, which I love. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait. I am so excited. Like, and she gonna send me everything so that I can like edit the whole thing, because you know they just gonna film it. I can't wait. Like, I'm on, especially the topics, like the her skit, like what it is. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. So hopefully she'll take some ginseng or take a nap that day, get some vitamin C, and she will stay up with me to do the killer after party. I'm excited. I'm excited. Wait a minute. Now that I think about it, okay, yeah. I'm gonna try to keep that Halloween episode at 2 hours, because I know my mom is not gonna be down for being up late. Look, I am. I'm excited. I'm excited. She excited. I wish I was as excited. I was just telling Tyra yesterday or the day before, actually. I was like, oh, it's gonna be October 1st. I guess I should send reminders to the panel that I need they skits. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to send reminders, because I don't even know if I really want to do it. And Tyra was like, if you ain't doing the skit, we ain't doing the skit. But I'm gonna do it. I wish I was as excited as my mother is to do it. I'm not. I'm trying to think. Should I tell y'all what I'm dressing up as, or should I keep that as a surprise? I don't want to say what my mom skit is. I just innately feel like I want to just play it in the show, because I think it's going to be amazing. But I'm trying to think. My costume, I don't know. Maybe that don't need to be a surprise. I don't know. Do y'all want to know what I'm dressing up as? I don't know if I should tell y'all or keep it as a surprise. Okay, well, the people have spoken. I'm not going to tell you. It'll be fun. I love the Wait to Exhale skits they did on that. Same. And I forgot what live we all did before Tyra's birthday live, because, you know, you want to get the skits early so you can get the live together. And I was like, go ahead, play the skits. Let me get an exclusive look. When we were backstage after that live and Tyra played Ashley and Kay's skit, I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna love this. Like, this is so good. This is hilarious. I'm gonna save it, Paulie. It's gonna be a surprise. I'm not gonna say nothing. You gotta just show up that day for KillerCon. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, she yeah. Because I was like, Ma, you doing what? The text when she said she's scouting locations, that's the one that took me out. Because I was like, what's happening now? What are you doing? Like, who does that? I love that. I love the dedication. I love the passion. It's just so hilarious. I can't wait. I'm excited. I think it's going to be good. And I wanted to get it. I couldn't do it on Halloween, but I wanted to get it as close to Halloween as possible. So I figured that Monday, and I had to do something at work with everybody's schedule. So it's gonna be Monday, October 28th. I don't want to hear YouTube ain't notify you. I'm telling y'all, look out for it. And y'all know I always post the KillerCon live like before, so you know it's coming. So you'll know the day, the time to look out for it. Set your alarm, set your clock, set your reminder. Do not rely on YouTube, okay? I don't want to hear I didn't get notified. I missed the Halloween KillerCon, okay? And, you know, the cosplay and dressing up, not my ministry. But I like I said in that other live when Kay hit her 1K, I'm the type, I'm always going to at least try something. And hey, maybe I will enjoy it. Maybe I'll be like, hey, y'all was right. This was fun. But I just want to try it, gauge like the reception. And it wouldn't be nothing I do all the time, child, because, you know. But I could maybe implement it. Like maybe like a special Friday the 13th KillerCon, we'll do it again. Or maybe a special Christmas edition KillerCon, we'll do something. But I don't know. I'm just, you know, pulling stuff out right now because I don't know why there would be a Christmas edition horror panel. But y'all know what I'm trying to say. Do I ever wear anything sexy, Dane? And you know what? That reminds me of, I just saw the movie The Substance. Oh my Lord. Blown away. My video isn't up yet because I have so many thoughts that I need to get together and not make a super long video. But I also want to see the movie a second time before I talk about it. But basically, no spoilers, but basically the movie is about women and aging and how society looks at us and stuff like that, and you know, beauty standards and all that stuff. And it's so interesting because I am like the opposite of all of that stuff. Like, I'm not one of those, your prime is your 20s and women, you know, aren't desirable or worth as much as they get older. I'm like the opposite. Like, literally, I'm the complete opposite. I feel like your 40s is where it's at. You either get old or you die. Like, them the only two options. And I personally rather get old. Like, I don't want the other option. I will take get old for 500, Alex. But I feel like I've just always, I was a hard child to raise because I'm just naturally rebellious. Like, I'm just naturally going to rebel. And ever since I was younger, I just walked around looking like a little boy all the time. Like, literally, there are pictures when I'm like 21 years old and I'm hanging with my homegirls and they are dressed feminine, teeny stuff, boobs out. I got kicks on, graphic tee, because I just felt like I rebuke all that. Like, I'm not going to live my life based on like what my worth is based on my desirability or men wanting me sexually or finding me attractive. I just felt like, no, I'm rebelling against all that stuff. And what's interesting is when I was younger, which is supposed to be like your prime and you look so good and these are your years, I didn't dress revealing at all. But when I got in my 30s, that's when I started dressing revealing. But I felt like I had more power as I got older, if that makes sense. I didn't want to do that when I was young because I felt like, for me, I equated it to wanting male validation, and I just wanted to rebel against all of that. But as I got into my 30s, because if you're unaware, I'm 40, damn near 40. But once I got in my 30s, that's when I felt like, okay, I'm dressing for me. I'm wearing what I want to wear. I don't care about how a man sees me. And I started dressing way more revealing, but in like certain moments, because, you know, I dress like a boy every day. Like, I'm being funny, but that's just what I call it. But like, I remember going to like Jamaica. Child, I was half naked the whole damn trip. But would I have done that at 20? Hell no. But did I do that at like 35? Hell yes. Like, I just feel like it's such an interesting film. It's oh God. I got so many thoughts. Like, it's insane. And like the stuff, the literal like harm that women do to themselves trying to like live up to beauty standards, especially nowadays when, like, you know, of course, plastic surgery and all of that stuff is very like prevalent, popular, accessible. Child, I remember it was this girl I met who was saying, like, what did she say to me? Like, how do I have the confidence to always go out the house without I never wear makeup? It don't have nothing to do with confidence. Like, I'm just like, I'm not going to play that game. Like, that's just me personally. If I got a wrinkle, if I got a blemish, if I got an imperfection, that's just what it is. Like that, like, but I feel like I've conditioned myself to be like that ever since I was young, because I was just like, I would see like women and like teen girls and girls my age, and I would just be like, I'm not finna try that hard. Like, I'm not finna try that hard to look good. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not. I'm not finna try that hard to get that guy's attention. I'm not gonna try. Look, I'll just get men off the strength of my glowing personality. Like, I'm not gonna be trying that hard to stay young and stay thin and stay, you know. And what I really like is when the movie starts, I'm sitting there like, why the hell did we pick Demi Moore of all people? Because she might be 60, but she look good as hell. Like, she look better than some, like, we got the actress in the movie that's supposed to be the younger, more desirable Demi Moore. And I'm like, baby, I'd rather be Demi Moore. Like, she look. But as the movie progresses, I'm like, okay, using Demi Moore makes sense, because I get the message they're trying to send. It's not just women who are not traditionally attractive that are trying to do all this stuff. It's women that, like, you literally look good. So why are you doing this? So as you go through the movie, it makes sense why it would be Demi Moore. Because, baby, Demi Moore look good. I was sitting here like, I don't think I see Demi Moore in a decade. What's the last movie she did? She looked good. Okay, it's a lot of like nude scenes, because of course it's about attaining beauty standards and how your body looks. And I'm like, how many 60-year-old women would be nude in the movie? Baby, she look good. And of course, when you get the younger, better version, of course, like, her breasts are more perky and up and all kind of stuff. But I'm just like, no, Demi, I'd rather be you. Like, you look good as hell. But that's the point. And I find it so interesting. It kind of reminds me of like the young 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25-year-old girls being like, I'm getting Botox. And I'd be like, how are you chasing youth when you are the youth? You have youth. Why are you, I don't get that. I'm more so like, I feel like everybody should do whatever you want, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But as far as just my understanding, I completely understand if you're 30 plus, 40, 50 doing like Botox and plastic surgery. But I cannot understand why the hell you would be 21. Like, you ain't even aged yet. Like, you literally haven't even aged. But I would not recommend this movie to everyone, because it's a great message. But baby, it's body horror and it's gore and it gets nuts. It gets nasty. Like, it goes there 1000%. And something else I like about the movie, which I haven't seen like what anyone is saying. I don't like to like see reviews and stuff before I do mine, because of course you don't want it to like taint your opinion or get into what you're saying. But I would imagine, I think this is a movie that's relevant to men and women. I think men have certain physical standards and stuff they try to live up to as well. But I'm going to just speculate that a lot of men might be trashing the movie. You know how anytime you see like a movie about slavery or racism, it always got to be the one good white person in there. And remember when Jordan Peele made Get Out, and he was explaining how they always do that so that the white people in the audience can identify with the good white person in the movie, so that they can feel like, oh, I'm not the bad ones, I'm that good one. I feel like that happens with more than just race and movies like that. In a movie like this, you would expect there to be like that one good guy so that the men in the audience don't feel uncomfortable and they can say, oh, I'm that guy. There are no good men in this movie. They all trash. They all trash. But I think it's very relevant and true to life. Like the men in this movie are very played up and cartoonish and over the top, but I swear to God, as a person that has gone through this world for almost 40 years, I feel like they portrayed those men very well. Like, it's very true to life. Like, I feel like men might watch the movie and say, oh, men aren't that over the top. Yes, the hell they are. Yes, the hell they are. And it's not a situation where it's like, oh, all men are terrible. It's a situation where we all get conditioned by society. It was a review that Our Life in Horror did on The Substance. And if you're not familiar with that channel, it's a couple, a guy and a girl, they talk horror movies. And one thing the movie touches on is men telling women to smile. Oh, my mother. The way I could kill everybody. Like, I hate that. Ever since I was like 12 years old, literally, random strangers, men that I don't know me from a hole in the wall, will tell me to smile. I fucking hate it. And they portray that in the movie. Pretty girls should always smile, is what one of the guys say. And I like when they were doing the review and she tells her partner, you do that. Like just the other day, you were telling me I need to smile. I don't feel like smiling. Why do I have to smile? So that's what I mean by like, there are no good men in the movie, but I think it's realistic. And I think even if you're a guy that has some of these traits, I think it's more nuanced than, oh, like all men are bad. No, I think the women in the movie aren't like angels and the men are terrible, because I think it's a portrayal of how we are all conditioned by society and may not even recognize what we're doing. Like, she's telling her boyfriend, hey, you do that. You're always telling, like, I remember I commented, I said, oh my God, he's one of those men telling women to smile. Like, I hate that. But to him, he's not doing anything wrong. It's just how we're conditioned in society. So I think it's a nuanced way to look at things, but I'm going to speculate that men probably aren't very happy that there isn't a quote unquote good guy in the movie. But yeah, that video will be up as soon as I can get my damn thoughts together. But I'm going to have to get my thoughts together before KillerCon Saturday, because we're going to be talking The Substance and Body Horror Saturday for the KillerCon panel. So I need my solo video up before we do that. But Lord, I just feel like one thing, if you guys don't know, like me, Tyra, any content creator that talks about movies and stuff, you like take notes on it. The notes are crazy. I got like, it's so many, like, cause I just had so many thoughts, and just on certain things in the movie. But I freaking love the movie. Like I loved it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I couldn't quite give it a 5, but I want to rewatch it before I need to rewatch. Oh, there ain't enough time. It ain't enough hours in a day, I swear. But I did my video, I think a few months ago, on the worst movies of 2024. The top half of the year was so lackluster. Everything was a dud. Like I really wasn't feeling anything. But I got faith because this last half has really been giving me some good stuff. And I don't quite have, because you know at the end of the year, I always do my top 10 best, top 10 worst. It was so, child, I had a top 10 worst before June. I did not have one movie on my best list when June came. I mean, like not one. But now I have not 10, but I have some movies on my best of 2024. I have Oddity. Oddity right now is my number one favorite movie of 2024. I did a video on Oddity We have our Oddity watch along coming up because it dropped on Shudder Friday. I'm obsessed with Oddity. Alien Romulus, I did a video on that. I had a lot of fun with Alien Romulus. I got some critiques on it, but that's one of my favorites of 2024. The Substance, of course, is one of my favorites of 2024. Long Legs, I did a video on Long Legs. Trap is one of my favorites of 2024. I know people are split on Trap. Some people hate it. Some people love it. I really enjoy Trap. If you saw my video, you know it's a lot of issues with the movie, but overall, I had fun with Trap. And also, I'm hoping this movie gets kicked off my best list because I need some stuff to come in better than this. But I just saw a movie called Last Straw. And I need the other genres to step. Usually, I don't have only horror in my top 10. Like, usually, the first 2 years of my channel, when I do my 10 best of the year, it's never only horror. But right now, I have only horror movies, horror thriller like movies, horror adjacent movies on my top 10. But I just saw a movie called Last Straw, which would be horror thriller, but way more thriller to me. And that's on my top 10 best right now. But I'm hoping it gets knocked out of the top 10 because I think I gave it like a 2.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd or a 3 out of 5 because it's pretty flawed, but I enjoyed it. Like, you know how you can objectively be like, okay, this isn't a very well crafted movie, but I got a lot of enjoyment. That's what I consider Last Straw. And it's a movie, y'all look, if you've been on here, you know that premise that I love. Isolated, fighting for your life. We have this young girl who's working the late night overnight shift at a diner. She's alone, and this group of masked men come to like try to kill her, and she has to fight for her life. And I really had a lot of fun with that movie. I feel like the ending, if we could have had a stronger ending, I could have given it a higher score. The ending go a little off the rails, but I definitely think it's worth the watch. If you haven't, check out Last Straw. I thought it was really good. Deadpool and Wolverine was really good. That's in my top 10. I am not a comic book girl. I had no intentions of seeing Deadpool and Wolverine. I could give an ish about Deadpool. Now, I did watch the X-Men movies for the first time earlier this year, and I loved them a lot more than I thought I would. The 2000s trilogy I really loved. And then like the new version with like the young mutants I really loved. And I only saw, I think it's 3 Wolverine movies. I think I saw 1. So I like Wolverine. I like the X-Men. I've never seen Deadpool. Blade Trinity really ruined Ryan Reynolds for me. I cannot stand Ryan Reynolds. And it's all because of Blade Trinity. Like, I don't know. It's like one of those things where I cannot stand Ryan Reynolds in Blade Trinity, and it really makes me not like him. Like, I cannot stand Ryan Reynolds. So I've never seen Deadpool. But when I saw that Ryan Reynolds had posted, with spoiler alert, if you just haven't heard yet, mute for 60 seconds. But Ryan Reynolds posted on social media that in Deadpool and Wolverine, Wesley Snipes comes in as Blade. That is the type of spoiler that makes me want to see the movie. Now I want to see it because I want to see Wesley Snipes as Blade. So I will be checking that out. But Deadpool and Wolverine is one of those movies that I stuff in at the very end year to do like my end of the year lists and wrap ups. Like I have those like movies that I need to finally get to because it's not anything I'm in a hurry to watch. I doubt I really like the movie. Like I said, I cannot stand Ryan Reynolds. I cannot stand his humor. He get on my nerve ever since Blade Trinity. Like that just soured him for me. I checked out Oddities last night. It was an interesting watch. That don't sound too enthusiastic. I would say it's interesting, but was it good? Did you enjoy it? I've seen Oddity. Have I seen it twice at this point, or have I seen it 3 times? I think I've only seen it twice at this point. And I can't remember I think my first watch, I might have given it 4 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd, but on rewatch, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I am upset. And the only reason I gave it 4 the first time is because I was kind of let down with the ending, But on rewatch, I loved the ending a lot more. I thought it was really brilliant. So I gave it 5 out of 5. I am obsessed with Oddity. I feel like Oddity is right up my alley. Like, I love a dark kind of like I cannot understand anybody not liking Oddity. I saw somebody talking about like their favorite movie so far of 2024, and they said that Late Night with the Devil was better than Oddity, and I'm just like, in what parallel universe is Late Night with the Devil better than like nothing is better than Oddity. Okay, right now I feel like nothing is better than Oddity this year. But there are certain movies that I can understand people feeling like it's better than Oddity. If you think The Substance is better, okay, I get it. Even if you think Alien Romulus is better, okay, I get it. But Late Night with the Devil? But of course, everybody can like what they like. I'm just being funny. Obviously, movies are subjective, so... Nikki, 99% of everybody knew Ryan Reynolds advocated for Wesley Snipes. You as a look, I don't know, because I had no idea Wesley. Like, I consider that a spoiler. Like, I had no idea Wesley Snipes was in that movie until Ryan Reynolds posted about it. So, I mean, excuse me for not wanting to ruin movies for people. I can't stand spoilers. Like, it will literally piss me off beyond belief. And I'm the type of person, when I tell you I never get mad, I literally never get mad. Like, literally. I might get annoyed, I might get frustrated, but I don't get mad. Spoiling a movie for me? Well, I'll get mad. Like, that will piss me the hell off. And I try to be courteous to other people and not ruin movies for them and give them spoilers. So I thought it was a spoiler. I'm not in the comic book Marvel world, okay? So forgive me. You think Oddity is better than Alien Romulus? Absolutely. Absolutely. Alien Romulus had a lot of flaws for me. And if you break the movie down piece by piece, I think Oddity had one of the greatest opening sequences in horror cinema, period. Like, one of the greatest. That opening is brilliant. Alien Romulus opening, it's fine, but it's not anything to write home about. I mean, I really liked Alien Romulus. I gave it a glowing review. I didn't like all of a sudden having these young behind little teeny boppers in space. I was really not a fan of that. I'm not much of a fan. I feel like most of the characters were throwaway characters. This just fodder to die. I really liked the pregnant girl, and I really liked the black guy who was the android. That's it. Like, outside of that, I could care less about the other characters. So it was way too flawed. And Oddity, I literally loved every single character, even the like villain characters. Like, I love them all. I would definitely say Oddity is better than Alien Romulus. I mean, but you know, that's the beauty of movies. We can all watch the same exact thing and walk away with completely different experiences. But you are psychotic if you think that Late Night with the Devil is better than Oddity. And Late Night with the Devil isn't like a sucky movie. It's not a bad movie. I thought it was okay. But I think Oddity is brilliant. I think Oddity is amazing. But hey, that's just me. I really don't know how you can watch Oddity and not think it's the greatest thing in the world. Like I don't. Darfalina, Oddity was amazing. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, we see each other. Oddity was amazing. Top 2 of the year easily. Easy. That's what I'm saying. And I'm ready to watch it a third time. At this point, I've seen Oddity twice. And I'm so happy it's on Shudder now because I'm going to see it again. And again. I feel like Oddity for me is going to be like Sisu was last year. When I saw Sisu, SISU last year, I literally watched that movie like 15 times in that 1 year. I was obsessed. I think Oddity is going to be that for me this year. Like, I just want to keep watching, like, and I know, is anybody else like that? If I really like something, I will watch it over and over and over and over and over again. Like, I will just gorge on it. If I really like something, I would just watch it. I would just keep watching it. Yeah, see, nobody talks about that movie Equalizer. I literally never. I was the only out of the channels that I watched last year. I was the only person who talked about that movie. I had that. I think that was that my number. Wait, I can't remember. It was either 2023 or 2022. I'm getting mixed up. But I think that was my number one movie in my top 10 best of the year. But it was in my top 10. I know that for sure. I didn't see anybody else talking about that movie. Nobody. But that's the story of my life. I never like in so many movies that I see that I'm like, nobody knows this movie exists. But that movie was amazing. And I'm so that warms my heart to know that somebody else appreciates that movie. I saw Oddity twice in theaters, then harass everyone I know to go watch it too. Look, Darflene, it is literally the greatest thing ever. I have to figure out when we are rescheduling the Oddity watch along because I just want to see it again. I watched Blink twice yesterday. It was good, but had a dumb ending. I did a review on Blink twice. Overall, I liked it. I wouldn't have never seen it if I knew what it was because I do not like to watch that subgenre. But I think that Zoe Kravitz as a director is pretty freaking talented. I think she's great. I just don't know why we wanted to tell this story. But I actually really liked the ending. I didn't think it was dumb. But I get that maybe people don't understand or have a different interpretation. I guess I won't say understand. Have a different interpretation of the ending, which don't say it, Dane. Don't spoil it for nobody. But I like the ending. I think it works. What did I give Blink twice? I might have given it 3 out of 5. I can't remember. Y'all know my brain is so bad. My brain is so freaking bad. But we have been here for an hour and a half. I had a watch along scheduled for today. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I have Tell Me Lies new episode was Wednesday. I still haven't seen the episode and gotten that video up. There are 3 episodes of TV series that I'm talking about that come on today. From the Walking Dead spinoff Daryl Dixon starts today, and the Penguin is today. Now, the Penguin video pretty much flopped, so I'm not sure I'm going to continue, but I want to do more than just one video on it to gauge if it's worth me continuing. Because when I made the watch along for today, I did not know I was going to do this live. Yeah. And we've been here for an hour and a half. So I'm making dinner and listening. Did you talk about your book? Oh yeah, I didn't. Books, Girls, and Purrs. My reading list. Okay. Let's get into my reading list, and then I am going to jet. Blink twice was cool, very good. Yeah. I had a lot of issues with it, but overall, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it worked. Okay, so I have to pull up my reading list because if you weren't here at the beginning of this live, I used to read a ton, but I have gotten out of reading and I want to get back into it. But I think my reading list, Books, Girls, and Purrs, might be a little. I'm not really one for like. I used to read everything and anything and a lot of like fiction, but my current reading list is not really much fiction. I think the only fiction I have on here is Stephen King's Dr. Sleep book. I love Dr. Sleep. I love that movie, but I've never read the book, so that's on my watch list. And I have this book. It's called White Negroes. Like the books on my list might be a little different. I am so hyped to get into this author. I am so hyped to read this book. I'm excited. And some of my books on my reading list. It's not going to be anything horror. But if you have some good horror like book recommendations, I am here for it. Okay, 150 billion%. Let me see. I'm skipping over some of these because I feel like my reading list is a little radical. I have this book on my reading list called We Do This Till They Free Us. And it is about abolitionists. And if you're not familiar, abolitionists do not believe in like prison and that stuff. So I have that on my reading list. Okay. And then there's another book I have called How to Abolish Prisons, Lessons from the Movement. Yeah, so like I said, it's not like, you know. And then another book that I'm super, super excited to read is The Coddling of the American Mind, How Good Intentions and Bad Ideas Are Setting Up a Generation for Failure. I'm super excited to read that one. And then there's another book that I'm excited about as well called The Anxious Generation, How the Great Rewiring of Childhood is Causing an Epidemic of Mental Illness. If you haven't heard, there's been a lot of talk about how like the younger generation, like the technology generation, the social media generation have like this epidemic of anxiety. So I'm really, really interested to read that. Then I have another book on my reading list called The Two-Parent Privilege, How Americans Stopped Getting Married and Started Falling Behind, that I am really, really interested in reading. Now, some of my reading lists, I like to read stuff that is like the different of like how I think. So the Two-Parent Household Privilege book, I am super, super interested. I was raised by a single parent. I have a friend who wanted to stay in this relationship because she didn't want to raise her kids by herself. And she felt like, oh, like I have boys, so I'm the opposite. I feel like raising a human is raising a human. Like, I don't think a man has to raise a boy. I don't think a woman has to raise a girl. Like, I feel like you just work with what you have. If you're a man and you have to raise your daughter, like, that's just what you have to do. Like, if there's no mom, there's just no mom. Like, I don't know. I don't believe in that. So, like I said, I like to expose myself to arguments that are the opposite of how I think. So I'm very excited to read The Two-Parent Privilege. And then, I don't know if you guys have heard, but currently, I think like the last 20 years, like girls are doing better in schools than boys are. More girls are going to college, graduating college than boys are. And there's this book called Of Boys and Men, Why the Modern Male is Struggling, Why It Matters, and What to Do About It. This is another book that I'm reading that is the opposite of how I think. I could give a shit about, oh, there's an epidemic of men struggling. And I say that because I feel like society has been built by men. Like, men made the rules of society. I have a guy that I know who complains about the women he dating expecting him to pay and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, men invented that, right? Like, men invented patriarchy, right? Like, you saying these women expect you to pay. They didn't invent that. So that's why I say I'm hard pressed to really care when a man is like, oh, I'm struggling. These men made the rules. Like, they invented that. Like, women live in a society and we adapt and get these ideas, but women didn't invent this stuff. Women did not say, yeah, we need to create this whole thing where men pay and all, and women stay home and they supposed to take care of it. No, men did that. So I'm interested in reading the book because I don't want to just be in my closed mind. I love just hearing other thoughts that are the opposite of mine, because hey, maybe it'll open my mind. Maybe I'll think differently. Maybe I'll see a different perspective, or maybe I'll think the same, but I'm still getting exposed to different information. I just feel like it's really boring to just only converse with people or read or write, read or watch things that are just aligned with your values or your thoughts or your opinions. I think that's very boring. So maybe I can approach the men in my life with a little more sensitivity after I read this book, because I am not very sensitive. Nope. Y'all made the rules. And that's also the thing that's funny to me is I had this guy talk about like his son in school, and how great his daughter is doing, but how the school isn't set up in a way for his son. But I'm like, that don't make no sense, because men were the ones like dominating in all these areas. Like, if you go back, I forget what school it was. I was watching a video on how, like, there's a certain Ivy League school that this girl went to that didn't even have women until like the 60s. And I'm like, what in the school system has changed so drastically that the men were the ones in the Ivy League schools and all this stuff just 50 years ago, and all of a sudden the women are excelling, and you're trying to say it's because the education system is more set up to women? I'm just like, that makes no sense. But hey, like I said, maybe I'll read this book and I'll get a new understanding. But I know when it's and then that's something else, because we have our singular experiences. When I was in school, the women in class, the girls in class, they did do better than the boys. That was my singular experience. Do I think school is set up in a way that's biased to boys? I don't, but I don't like the way school is set up. Like, I am a certain learner, and I don't think school is set up for the way that I learn. So when it comes to that, I can agree, but I don't think school is set up where it's biased to males. I think it's set up because it's biased to people have different ways of learning. But I'm super interested to read it. I'm super excited. Like I said, maybe it'll give me a new perspective. A new perspective. Because, child, when the men in my life be trying to come, I'll be like, child, I'm gonna get the hell out of my face with them complaint. Like, no, you ain't gonna get. If you looking for sympathy from me and you got a penis, it really ain't gonna. You hard pressed. You hard pressed. Like, you could like. No Ivies had women until they lost a lot. See, that's what I mean. Like, men were the ones excelling and getting these Ivy League degrees. So don't come to me and say, oh, the education system is biased. No, it wasn't biased when y'all was the only ones at the Ivy League school. That's why I feel that. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. See, this I can't agree with, Dane. See, school has always been biased towards the middle and upper class. See, I can agree with stuff like that. I cannot agree with the gender bias. Class bias, absolutely. Absolutely. Some men hide from the hard work of actually raising kids. It's my reading list. Kate, whoever told you oddity was trash, never listen to anything they ever say ever again. Parents definitely should raise their kids and build a village to help. I think you just work with what you have. Like, I don't believe in, I'm a man and I have a daughter and she doesn't have a mom, so I can't raise her. I have to find a woman. Or I'm a woman and I'm raising a boy and he doesn't have a dad. I have to find a man. I think people just raise people. Like, I think that sets people up for failure, and it sets people up to feel inadequate, and it sets the kids up to feel like there's something they're missing. I just don't agree. I mean, that's just me. If you want to read horror, check out Clown. And I've heard about that one, but I've heard mixed reviews. Maybe I've heard some people say they hate it, and I've heard some people say they love it. I'm almost done with the second book. For nonfiction, check out Caste, Collective Illusions, and Corruptible. Let me put this in here so I don't forget. Yeah, I need some more fiction books, because I have a ton. Like, my whole reading list outside of that Dr. Sleep book is all nonfiction. Like, I really don't have any fiction. Oh, I found it. Collective Illusions, Conformity, Complicity, and the Science of Why We Make Bad Decisions. That sounds interesting. I like that. Thank you for that recommendation. Oh, and Clown in the Cornfield. We'll see how I feel about that one. Because I've heard mixed stuff. I've heard some people say they really like Clown in the Cornfield, and I've heard some people say they really hate it. So hey, we'll see where I fall on it. Thank you for the recommendations, Blueberry. Schools do discriminate against boys. They assume boys will be discipline problems against boys. Nonfiction, Wretched of the Earth is really good. Ooh, I like that title. Let's see what that's about. Wait, did you say, oh, nonfiction? I thought you said, I don't know why I was thinking fiction. That title sounds intriguing, though. Okay, I added that to my list. Dang, is this your first time watching it? Oh my god! I want to go watch that. I can't. I ain't got time. I got content I need to be worried about. I can't be watching that. That's my movie. That's my movie. I love your channel so much, and your personality is top tier. You need to have more subs. Thank you, Kate. I really appreciate that. As a matter of fact, you just reminded me. I put a poll up in the chat asking what made you want to subscribe. 42 votes. 38%. Oh wait, no, that's not the highest one. What's the highest? The highest is 52%, just your energy and personality. And then the second highest, 38%, is horror content. See, now look, that sounds good to me. Me and the horror is why folks signed up to subscribe. Thank you to the 42 people that engaged in the poll. I really appreciate that. And let me know if y'all are interested in me doing just these regular, just chit chat, check-in, connecting with you guys lives. And hopefully, y'all will start engaging more, just, being, supporting, showing up, being active, connecting in the chat, all the good things. Okay. I raised my son and daughter equally, taught both how to use tools, both had the same curfew time, both know to talk to me when needed, both are fine people. I completely agree with you, Equalizer. That's my point. That's what I was trying to tell my friend when she was all, I got to have a guy for my son. I'm just like, just raise your son and your daughter, just raise them to be, I personally feel like just raise your kids to be good people. Just raise them to be good human beings. I don't think raising kids should be based on their gender. I think just raise good people. Raise them to be good people. Okay, we'll do more chats. If that will make you guys, if this is something you guys will enjoy, I will be here. But it's been almost 2 hours. I did not expect to be on here this long. Thank you so much for being here, for showing up to support. And make sure you check out the videos tab on the channel, the live tab, the community tab. Since y'all always say YouTube don't notify y'all, just check the page, check the channel. Okay, because I have put a ton of content up, okay, like a ton. And I have a ton of content that is coming up, so please be on the lookout. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Oh, and before we leave, I forgot. I need to shout out the channel members. And if you would like exclusive content and perks and all the works, then please consider joining channel membership. So cut to this.
One of us, a loving cup, a loving cup. We accept a one of us. We accept a one of us.
Goober gobble, goober gobble.
We accept her, we accept her. Google gobble, Google gobble. One of us, one of us. Google gobble.
They're going to make you one of them.
So also shout out to my members that have been with me for the whole like year that I've had my membership. Shout out to y'all. And also, I am so sorry I did not notice. I hope Amy is still in here. Thank you, Amy, for sending support to my Cash App. I just noticed it. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Equalizer, thank you. Yes, share the video, hit like, spread the word. Have a great night. Thank you, Equalizer. Cause see, when we did our KillerCon, I saw Tyra subs in her comment telling everybody share the video, like the video. I saw K subs in her comment saying like. Wasn't nobody in my comment saying share the video, like the video. Thank you, Equalizer. I appreciate that. I don't know why I get paid thus, but thank y'all. I will see y'all in the next one. Thank you so much for showing up for this.
Goodbye.